Welcome to Framework Fortune. I'm your host, Ben, and this is the second episode of Portfolio Power Up. And before you invest or buy or sell any stocks, make sure you do your own research first. This channel is for informational and entertainment purposes only. We are not liable for any losses you may incur investing. With all that being said, what's up, One Life? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Happy Sunday, March 29th. I'm excited for tomorrow. I'm
Yeah,
excited for the week to come. I had a entertaining weekend and just relaxing now, and I love talking stocks.
yeah, okay, sounds good. So I guess we've had a nice rebound this past week in the market.
Surprisingly,
Surprisingly, yeah. But it's formed an interesting pattern on the SPY to me, uh, and you guys can see it up on the screen there. It's kind of like an escalator down, like this little jump, this little drop that we had, and then now this little rebound kind of looks like this same rebound up here, which led to this big, massive drop. So
it kind of looks like a feisty spider monkey. That's how I'm kind of interpreting the SPY chart. Kind of got down to that, what is that, about 220 low, kind of just bounced off of that. And like all last week since Monday, Monday was the rough day, and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday it was the bulls were in charge. They were getting
yeah,
hyped, and they took over the market. And I don't know why. I mean, to be honest with you, people are buying stuff. I can't even leave my home.
yeah, I'm not sure either. I mean, stocks have to bounce a little bit, I guess, even if they're going to have a big crash. You know what?
You're right.
Stocks go up, they go down, and it just looks to me like it's we're this week's probably going to be the start of another red downtrend. So it's not looking too good. And then Trump announced it's going to be, I guess, till April 30th before the
Another 30 days, bro.
yeah, the restrictions are lifted. So now, before it was just two
Maybe.
weeks. Yeah. And before
Yeah.
it was just 2 weeks of being locked down. Now we're
Yeah.
going
Two
to 30
weeks.
days. So whether or not that was priced in, I highly doubt. So we'll see what happens.
I don't
But
think that one was.
yeah, I don't
I
think it
don't.
was either. But,
No,
you
I
know,
don't think
there's
it
a
was.
lot of businesses that are struggling right now. So, you know, you've seen the airline stocks and cruise stocks. They're just, some of them had some nice rebounds this past week, but now they're just getting good, or they're going to get destroyed after, it's going to be 30 more days of this. So I know.
I tell you what, though, if you got an eye on those stocks and you're doing your technical analysis and you're watching support areas, there's some money in those stocks. I mean, we talked about this before about, with the volatility of the market, that you'll be able to play bigger plays that you wouldn't usually do with a small account. Small account, you're usually looking for low float stocks that have, a catalyst to run. Well, here, with the volatility of the market, it's like you can play Tesla. Tesla went to like 300-400 bucks, and then it jumped up to like 600 bucks, and it's down to five
Yeah.
hundred bucks. There's big moves in all these stocks. Space is another company that I really like. They were at 42 bucks like a month ago. Then they dropped down to $9
Yeah.
like a week ago, and then jumped back up to 18 again.
Yeah.
So there's some big moves in there if you're paying attention and you're watching. And that's the biggest thing, is just watching those lines of support, resistance. And whatever sector you're in, it's going to be volatile. I can see like all the gains that we just made this last week. I can see us going back and retesting that 220 area. If it's not this week, it'd be maybe the following week. I
Yeah.
can't really keep on going on and charging on. What is that? We haven't even made a double bottom or anything at this recent 220 area low. So it'll be interesting the coming week.
Yeah, for sure. And I agree. There's definitely been a lot of opportunities and pretty much all price ranges of stocks. I was still kind of in disbelief about MFA, and I'll pull MFA up now, but it's kind of mind blowing. This stock was down to 30 cents. Like, I know that they suspended their dividend, but that's going to happen for a lot of companies during a recession or a lockdown like this.
Right.
But still,
And I,
it's a 30. It was down to 32 cents, and they paid a quarterly dividend of 20 cents. So that's 80 cents a year you would get paid, and you paid 30 cents for this stock. Like, that's an amazing investment. and that's why I think it did that dead cat bounce like it did.
And you know what, too, about that, too, is that kind of play, yeah, you can look into the fundamentals of it and be like, okay, let me dive in here. But if you're going to just trade it and you kind of have this on your watch, like the first time I heard of this was, I think it was through Dom in the group. I'm like,
Yeah, he called it out. Dom called it out.
how you came across that, but it had this nice support just over what, $7, $8, just consistently
Mm-hmm.
for a few years, and then you're gonna tell me everything's fallen off there. And it didn't have, it had like a little rebound, a volatile day on the 18th of March, popped up a little bit and then sold off again. It's like, yeah, anything like even we saw ABC or ACB
Yeah,
and
ACB.
Hex do
Yep.
that, the pot stocks that went over under a dollar, excuse me, and then somebody's like, well, this thing is so oversold. I don't really know about investing for the long term,
Yeah.
but I could hold this and swing this and see what happens. And, within a week or so, and here we are with a couple days, just these giant moves.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, and I believe Dom wanted us to actually look into MFA because I think he's thinking about maybe swinging it. I can't remember exactly what he said in the group, but I know he was saying something about maybe he was thinking about maybe the 150 area could have a bounce or something. I think he's in here. Dom, if you want to put that in the chat, what you were talking about or what you were asking about it. But like I said, the dividend on this stock is a nice dividend, and on top of that, like you said, forever it was at $8. It just rides right there. It's not a very volatile stock that's going to cause a lot of price fluctuation in your portfolio, and that's kind of a good thing with a dividend stock because they're going to consistently pay that dividend if their stock price is staying consistent. So you see that,
Well,
this is a great...
Ben, I have no idea what you said. I don't know if you can hear me, but like ever since I stopped talking about 45 seconds ago, I can't hear you. So I don't know where the problem is. With the...
You can't hear me right now?
Yeah, because I can't hear anything. I don't know if we have to restart this or...
What about now? Can you hear me now?
Need a call for some reason.
Can you guys hear me in the chat? So let me know if you guys can hear me or not in the chat. One Life cannot hear me.
Still can't hear you.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. I got you now. Can you hear me now? Oh,
Hello.
I lost you there. Oh, can you hear me?
Not really.
Not really?
Let me see here. Maybe it's on my end for some reason.
They're saying they can hear us both. So I don't know. All right, guys. Sorry about that. At least you can hear us.
Gotta love technical difficulties.
Yeah, give us just a second. We'll try to figure out what's going on because we can't. I can hear him, but he can't hear me. So I'm not sure.
Yo, yo, yo.
I can hear you. Well, I guess he can't hear me, so that was kind of stupid, wasn't it?
Hello. Check, check. This is ridiculous. Modern technology at its finest. Well, Let's see here. Let me hang this up and do a recall, see what happens.
All right, guys. So we're trying to figure it out. I don't know what happened. Stream's kind of crazy. Sometimes things just don't work out. And this is a lesson for the stock market that you can learn from. Same thing can happen. You can be sitting there in a trade. You think you've got it all mapped out. Oh, let's see if we get him back here. One Life.
Hello.
One Life. Can you hear me now?
Hello.
No.
Hold on.
Can't hear me?
I can kind of hear you, but not really like loud enough.
They're saying in the chat that they can hear us.
I hear a faint noise in the background. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Do you have some type of headphone or something? Maybe you can plug right into the computer?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Let me go see.
Thank you, Daniel B, for that suggestion. Smart comments as always. But yeah, what was I saying about the oh yeah, you could be in a trade, you can have your plan all set and ready. You know, if your electric goes out, that's something you can't handle, and you know that changes how things happen. So you never know what can happen. Just be prepared for anything and don't freak out, because you got to keep those emotions in control when you're trading. You guys like that, how I took a technical difficulty interruption and turned it into a lesson? You're welcome. Glad you guys joined the stream. As soon as One Life gets back here, we'll get back to looking at MFA. I do what I was getting at with this stock is, I mean, even, you know, if you bought at 50 cents or $1 somewhere in here, if you're wanting to hold this long term, as long as you go and check out their cash, their positive cash flow, so their, you know, income to debt ratio, make sure that they have enough cash to make it through the recession. And if they do, this could be a good long-term investment. Because let's look back. Let's see how long it's been. So yeah, this is a 20-year chart. The lowest it's ever been is 482. So it's good.
Interesting.
I don't know what One Life's doing, but we'll figure it out. So yeah, but you can see it just went sideways. Sometimes it has some nice little up movements there, but for most part it just stays in a nice little even price range. So you can see there where it's oversold. So I think, like I said, if they can make it through, I think it's a good one. I think it'd be one that would be a great dividend stock to hold. Now, as far as swing trading, like I was saying in the Facebook group, if some of you guys haven't joined the Facebook group yet, just go to the groups and search Framework Fortune Day Trading. And I'll put it in the link in the bottom as well after this. But like I was saying in the group, we've been having this bounce in the market, and it's caused a lot of stocks to go up. So I want to see what's going to happen tomorrow overall with the markets, because I think they could start going back down some more. And you may be able to get into MFA pretty cheap again, or even cheaper. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. I would just kind of wait it out, and that's probably with every stock. I would wait to see tomorrow how they're acting in pre-market, see what the futures are doing, see what the SPY's doing, and then go from there, because these rapid movements we've had in the SPY, in the whole markets in general, you know, they're up and down so fast some days. One day it's a big drop, one day it's a big rip. It's hard to get consistency in this type of volatility. So you just kind of got to take it day at a time and week at a time. I wouldn't if you're day trading and swing trading. I probably wouldn't be swinging more than like 2 weeks max. And that's if that stock just had a lot of good potential. But that's just my thoughts. What's worse?
I'm sorry, guys, but I don't hear anything.
Okay, so we're still having
For some reason,
some issues
not
here.
hearing anything.
So let me see if I can figure out something.
Let me disconnect and look at some things real quick.
Okay. All right, so One Life's going to drop out of here for a second. Let him check his settings. Maybe he hit a button or something. Because if you guys can hear both of us, then it's most likely not on my end, I would think. So, yeah. Is everything good right now? Can you guys hear me good? Everything clear on my side? Just let me know. And if there is something wrong, I'll try to fix it. But yeah, is there any stocks that anybody is looking at this week? I know one of the most popular stocks right now that people are looking at is AYTU. Oh, he's calling back here. Let's see.
Hello.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh my gosh.
I guess he can't hear me again.
All right, I'll be back.
All right, he's taking off again. So yeah. Oh yeah, AYT, that's what I was talking about. There's a lot going on right now, so I'm trying to, not get too crazy with it. But yeah, here's AYTU. It's a very popular stock right now. There's a lot going on with this stock. And I'm pretty much at the stance where Monday or Tuesday, I think, needs PR, and it needs to get a big rip, or it's not going to do anything most likely. But we'll wait to go dive in AYTU when Rob gets on here, or One Life gets on here, because he'll have some stuff to say about it too, I'm sure. So any stocks you guys want us to look at, check out, see what they're about, we can check it out. Or any questions or any strategies, EIGR. See, I'm not familiar with that stock. Let's check it out here. Make sure I'm still on the 1 year chart. So, and there might be a little bit of delay in the stream, so if it takes me a minute to see your comments, I apologize, but I wanted to record this at the highest quality, so the playback will still be good, even though we can't really help the technical difficulties. But yeah, so I'll see your comment and eventually. It might take a minute or two, but so EIGR Biopharm Company, it looks like. Let me put it up in here so I can see. Where's it at? EIGR about 20. So the float's probably around 20 million. So very low float stock. And this is all the way up at 1582 before the drop. Doesn't look like we have any dividends. So this is not a dividend stock. Highest it's ever been is 18. The low float is definitely interesting, but for it to have a low float, it hasn't really made any massive moves at any point. So that right there is 10 to 11.84. I mean, it's $1.84 move is a pretty good move, but for a float that low, it's not that great of a move. Okay, so let me see what this stock is about. I'm not familiar with it at all. So what do they got going on right now? Premature aging in children. Okay, that's a very specific drug. Let's see, submission. So they're waiting for FDA approval. Have I got that right? Okay, I'll check CanF in a second too. Is that what I'm seeing? They're awaiting FDA approval on this drug. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Complete submission. They haven't got it yet. I'm just trying to make sure they haven't got it yet because, like I said, I have no idea about this stock. I've never traded it or seen it. So let's see. When was their last earnings? Let's see. They had. Oh, that's just a expense. Oh, here we go. Yeah, just submitted the drug. Yeah, okay. So it looks like they have a couple of drugs that they're working to get out. Is this a swing trade, or are you looking at it long term? What are you wanting? What is your plan with this stock? What is that? What is your idea here? Into March. So they spent more money on research, it looks like. So One Life is saying it is on my end. Not sure how. So I'll look at that. Let me finish up with the IGR here, and then I'll swing until FDA approval. Me personally, you never know for sure that they're going to get it, and if they don't get FDA approval, the stock is going to drop pretty hard most of the time anyway. Even if there's a lot of positivity around the stock, you just don't know until then. I don't think I would swing it for FDA approval. If it was me, if you day trade, I might would wait till that day to be up in pre-market and wait for the press release, and then maybe catch a nice move off of the press release if they have the FDA approval. If not, I mean, if you was to swing it, even the night before they get the FDA approval, which you probably won't know exactly when they're gonna get it, you just kind of have an idea. So yeah, even if you swung it and you was up in pre-market ready to go, and if they drop that press release at like 5 in the morning before you can make a trade yourself, a lot of those institutional investors, if they see that the drug didn't get approved, they may dump it. So it is a very small niche. So I do get that. It's just I feel like it's a little bit of a gamble. Let me see if I can get One Life on here. We'll try to give it another try, and he can take a look at it and see what he thinks. Because like I said, I'm not sure that I wouldn't swing it just because it might be getting FDA approval, but it's kind of the same thing with earnings too. Like if you're thinking about swinging a stock for an earnings, and then they might have had it might have seemed like all year they were doing really good, but if that earnings comes up short, it can drop. I've even seen where the earnings are good and the stock still drops. So that's the thing where it's kind of like, it's hard to say. Can you hear anything now? Can you hear me?
What are you guys trying to swing?
Can you hear me? It's trying to swing EIGR.
Jesus.
Hold on, let me see if I can try to.
Hey, can you hear anything now? What's the stock you guys trying to swing here? Which one is it? Oh my God. EIGR. It's got too many letters for one thing. Let's see here. Too many letters. Let's see here. Well, I mean, really, it's kind of up in the 20-day. Testing that $7, 722 area. I would steer clear of it. You can try to pick it up at, I don't know, are you going to swing it for what, though? What's the fundamentals? That's what you're. Yeah, Ben, this isn't going to work out. You could. Yeah. Yeah, for some reason, the Skype isn't working, so I tried to figure out maybe I could use my headphones, but obviously there's a delay. We're not in real time.
Can you hear me now, One Life?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, holy smokes.
Okay, it was on my end. It was
What
on my.
happened? It turned into a complete shit show for a good 20 minutes. Everybody's losing money. They're freaking out of the market.
Yeah.
Can't even come across and tell the people what they want to hear about, trading.
All right, can you guys hear both of us right now?
I'm sure they can. I don't know.
Just let us know if you can't hear both of us, but we should be good now. I think I got it fixed out. Fixed. It was my fault.
What are the people saying in the chat?
So, yeah, EIGR. He was wanting to swing EIGR because I could hear what you were saying because it's
a bio company. I see that, and it had a nice little drop. It broke low under the 9 to a low of 455 recently. Then it's already made the move, though, Ben. That's the problem I have with it because it's already testing the $7 area. I think it's going to come back a little bit. At least it hasn't even tested the 9 on the daily, which is at 660. So you got a good 30, 40 cents in there. But then what are you trying to expect out of it? Are you trying to make it another leg up? I mean, what are they doing? What are they selling? What's their big catalyst? Are they selling any coronavirus tests or anything?
They have a drug. I read the press release while you were trying to see if it was on your side, but they have a drug for premature aging in children. So it's a very niche.
The Benjamin
basically.
Disease?
Yeah, man, don't make me laugh at that. I'm laughing at the Benjamin Button line. That's okay. Anyway, they just submitted the drug to the FDA, so he's wanting to swing it for FDA approval. But what I said was, I'm not a fan of swinging stocks into FDA approval or earnings or anything like that because they might not get the FDA approval.
The one thing I do like about the stock, it's not, a typical, what we like to say, the penny stock and, anything under $5-10. It's held nice levels before, obviously, everything that's happened since 2015. I'm looking back. I can go back further. It's never been like a stock like with any kind of like trying to be compliant. So I do like that about it, and I do like that it has a nice upswing to around a little. Well, I could see it going to 8 to 9. But are you already late? I think maybe you should wait a
Yeah,
little
see if it
bit,
comes back down.
have it retest the 9 and see if it goes under. If it goes under the 9, then it's automatic sell if you've already been long in
Mm-hmm.
it. And then if it went under the 9, if you had margin, you would want to short it. So I would wait, and it looks like it's going to make that move this week. So I would just be patient and wait and see what happens in the next
Yeah,
few days.
yeah. What about swinging into FDA approval? Is that something that you would do?
Well, when's the next time they're going to
Well,
talk to the
they've
FDA?
completed the submission, so that's
Yeah, well, I would have to look. That's something I would have to really look into and see, like, when the date is going to be. If they already have something set in stone that they're going to say, you know, 60 days from now or whatever, it's up for a review. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could do that, but I mean, I would just let the chart kind of fill out a little bit. It's kind of like making a little bit of a, reversal, a little bit of a cut there. Let it come back and make a
yeah,
handle maybe and see if you can, squeeze a couple bucks out of it. I don't know how long he wants to hold it for or her. I'm not sure who presented this question or the stock. I don't know if it's going to be just a swing for profit, take it and leave, or if it's like a long, 12-month hold and
it's just
longer.
he was just wanting to swing it. He's thinking about it for a swing till it gets the FDA approval.
Okay, Ben, whatever you're doing now, remember earlier I was talking about the fuzzy
Yeah.
noise? So whatever you're touching or something, be careful what you're touching over there because I don't know about, 'cause I heard the fuzzy noise again and I don't want to lose you.
Okay, I'll try not to.
I don't want to lose you
I'll try
now.
not to make the fuzzy noise. So Halloran has another stock. He wants us to look at CanF, CA,
Damn it, I played that a couple
CANF.
times. I don't think I made any money off of it. Yeah, I remember CANF,
Yeah.
CANF. Yeah, I guess friggin' old
Let's see.
charts in it.
Let me see what he was asking.
I got like a million.
I
I'm
said
sorry,
I'm
what was
just trying
that?
to see what he was asking about CanF. My memory is bad, so I can't. I saw what he said and I completely forgot what he said about it.
Yeah, I got like all kinds of.
I think he said something about breaking over $2 or something.
Is it really that
It's a
low
dollar
now?
27 right now. It looks like dollar, or
27.
I guess
And Bucko was the low. Ooh. Oh, I don't like it. It kind of gives me that flat line look to it, though. That's what the one thing I like. I don't know. I would kind of steer clear of it. It doesn't look like it to me. I'm looking back. This 108 was in
mm,
February, and then we had the drop February 10th. So what are we at the end
kind
of
of
March? It's only one spike in it. It looks like a flat line. Like it looks like you would just play it for a scalp. Like, okay, it moved 3 cents. I bought and
yeah.
sold.
He was saying if it breaks
Look very.
two,
Oh.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
assuming if it
I
if
mean,
it's you're wanting to
if
swing it for the break of two, is that what you're saying?
it looks like it would be time consuming though. You have to be patient. It looks like you would have to be patient where it's going to dip to 108 again. It might go under $1. Then you're going to have to deal with all that bull. I mean, it depends how patient this person is. That's all I
Yeah,
can look at. It looks like it'd be like something you're like looking at every day, like, it's not doing
like
anything.
AYTU.
Yeah, AYTU is horrible. So much pumping going on with AYTU too. And it's funny because I've been in it since 3 weeks or something, and I've been adding to it. And I've had a couple opportunities where I could have sold. I'm still up on it in both my
Yeah, I
accounts,
am too.
but I'm just holding it like whatever. It's like I'm not hurting to like pay rent or anything, so I can hold this thing until I feel like I need to sell it. But I didn't know it was getting so much
Yeah, it's getting
exposure.
a lot. We'll dive in just a second. I want to kind of put my input on CanF as well. But
This is something that Ben
yeah,
would buy. Tell me the opposite, Ben. I
Oh,
said I wouldn't buy it.
hold
Give
on
him
before
the
you
bull
start.
theory.
EKSO ran to $5, same day. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Before you start on me about that, I'm
are you
positive.
sure? Because I could have sworn it was
I'll
like at
pull it
like
up right
$2.
now. Right in,
Yeah, I'm gonna look
right
at it.
before after hours. It ran all the way from that area that I got into it at, all the way up to
Oh,
484.
what's that ticker symbol? E
EKSO.
what?
Yeah,
EKSO. Let me look at this garbage
garbage stock that
stock.
ran $2.50, almost
Oh
$3 in the
God.
same day.
Oh, it's just trash, man. Look at it. That's just yeah. That's a horrible. And get in and out of this thing. What are you talking about? I see a little blurb there. Well, that's an after hours. I'm sorry. Okay, it had a decent move. I'll give you that. It had a little bit of volume. Somebody's pumping it up. Yeah,
Yep.
you can't be right all the time, right? Right, Daniel B. So
I honestly didn't think it was going to do that at all. I thought it was going to do it, it was going to do it when I was talking about it, and then it just didn't do it till the end of the market, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna
I don't.
get him after him for that one.
Yeah, I don't even know how you would even play at it. Play it. I'm looking at the 5-day, 15-minute chart, and it's just flatline. There's like you can't even scalp it. So, but this is kind of like Caniff though. So, if maybe
So,
I don't know, Ben, what do you think about the Caniff? You think it's kind of similar to the EKSO?
mm,
Both crappy stocks that we shouldn't play. Sometimes they make a good move out of it.
here's the thing: Canf is a pretty low float stock, so it
We like
can
that.
it can get a move if it has a reason and the reason is good enough to make volume come into it. It can move. So the only thing is right now I don't see a reason. Like we don't really have a chart. We don't really have a chart pattern. We don't really have anything good. It's below all three indicators. It's below the 9, the 50, and the 200. So right now
Yeah,
it's bearish.
very bearish.
It,
Very bearish.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's extremely bearish. So that's why it would be one. I'm not sure why you're watching it for. Maybe there's something to do. Maybe they're coming out with a drug or something. I don't know, but I'd have to look into it more. But right now, just looking at the chart and how it's been doing with volume and stuff, it really hasn't done much. So it doesn't really have a reason to. So you
Yeah.
need a really good reason. That's what I would say. You'd have to have a really good reason to trade the stock right now.
What's the float size on it? Is it
Uh,
under 10?
yeah,
Like a micro?
yeah, it's under 10.
I remember trading this one a few times, but I don't know how well I've done on it. I don't think I've done really well considering I can't remember. I'm trying to look at the news on it right now, just get an idea of, you know, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could play it if you're patient, if you're willing to put in, months.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it might take months. I don't know how long your swings are, but you know, I still I don't know if I don't want to swing this for months because what if they come out and like you said, they're flatlining right now. So if they do have a drop down, they might flatline again for a while, then drop down, flatline again. I've seen plenty of stocks like that. So I'm gonna look at it at like as far back as I can, as far as 20-year. So it only goes back to 2013. So this stock has been on a downtrend since 2013. So
Yeah, I mean,
that tells
I
me
mean,
that it's not going to stay on the stock market or on the Nasdaq for very long, unless it stays above $1. But right now, it's very soon it could crack $1.
and that's what I would be scared about too, because I was thinking about like, okay, you have it on your watch list, and yeah, right now you don't want to buy it at 135 because you're buying into the resistance. But if it came back to 108, would you try to pick up some there, or is he or she kind of nervous about like, okay, if it goes under $1, it's going to be a shit show. Would you look for like a double bottom, pick it up at 108 and then sell it back into resistance? And maybe you can even get a little bit cheaper where it's just kind of grazing that 98 cent mark.
Yeah.
Start building position in there and then you sell it, 6 months later for 30-cent profit. It depends how big your how much money you're working with, how patient you are. My patient wise, I couldn't watch this every day.
No,
You know,
like I
for that
said,
long.
that downtrend for 7 years straight is, kind of ugly. That's something you really don't want to see in a stock. So it's
It does have some good little pumps though, with the low flow. That'll help you if they have some good news. Like here in November, they jumped. They had a nice week where they jumped up over $4. So you're
I
looking
would day trade it. I
roughly
would day
four
trade
five
it if it
months.
had a
So
catalyst. If it had an actual good catalyst, yeah, I would day trade it. If it had volume coming in and stuff like that. But I don't think I
yeah,
would swing it. I don't. I just don't see a
yeah.
reason to.
Ben, I know you couldn't swing it. You don't have the personality for that kind of swing, and this would be really
No,
time
I don't
consuming.
like
This,
swinging for very long. If I'm either going long term and I'm not paying attention to it ever, or I'm going, day trade and short swings. AYTU is driving me nuts. So let me hop into
yeah.
AYTU and talk about it some because I know a few people probably want to hear about it. And I did a lot of research this weekend, guys, and Weeble's comment boards, AYTU has been on fire. And it's pretty wild the type of hope that a lot of these new traders have on this stock. Like, there's like what they're posting and stuff is it's basically it's just hope. There's no research behind it. I mean, some of them, they've done a little bit of research. Some of them might have done some good research, but the majority of them, they're just like, oh yeah, this stock, it's going to go to the moon, and we don't know that for sure. It has a potential, but the manipulation is real. That's why we've been saying that it's definitely being manipulated. So if you're a new trader, I really wouldn't even want you to be in on AYTU, to be honest with you.
You got to bring in risk management, Ben.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, for a new trader,
Do some research. It's been consolidating for weeks now, and all of a sudden, everybody is like in love with it.
I mean, we do
It's
have
like,
the ascending triangle pattern. That's a good thing.
you know, don't overdo it. Put like maybe 10% of your play money in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're not that experienced, it's not something I would be going, oh, this stock is going to make me $1,000,000. While it might yield some good profits if we get the best case scenario or a good scenario, at the same time, if you're not ready for this thing to crash on you, then you might get caught. Because as with it being
Well, no,
manipulated,
somebody's
when
gonna
they
get
feel
caught.
like selling it, it's going to start crashing. So
Yeah, and we only know how far we'll go is with the Savvy, how far they're gonna let it go.
yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying. It's up to the manipulators. We're playing their game. We're just trying to
yeah, we're just in it for the ride. We're just trying to be safe.
yeah, but we're trying to catch
You
a
know,
little bit of profit.
we'll start seeing it done.
If it starts, if they decide to let this thing go and start manipulating it to the upside, then there's some profit to be made really quickly. But
Yeah,
you just have to
yeah,
be ready.
yeah, and you know what? And that's the thing. If when you're inexperienced, you're not ready because you're not thinking it's going to happen so quick that they're going to pull the rug out on
Hmm.
you. And that reminds me of Codex because people are kind of referring to this stock with
Okay, let me
CODX,
pull up
and
Codex. Here, I'll.
and they had a similar kind of chart patterns. But I was in CODX when it was like $22, and the next thing you know, it was $12 within 30 minutes, or not even 30 minutes. That's not fun. It was like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and see
I would have to go back.
that's what I've been warning everybody about is that fact that you know it can be ripping like all the volume can be on there and it can be ripping and all of a sudden it can just start dropping because the manipulators, they will do this. They will start dropping shares immediately when they get to whatever their price target is, and it's going to bring that stock back down very quickly.
Yep.
So you want to be locking in profits on the way up if it does start ripping. You don't want to be holding, waiting for your price target, because your price target might not be Savvy or whoever is manipulating it. Yeah, yeah. For all we know, their price target might be $3 right now. You know,
Yeah.
so it's really hard to say.
Well, I think that's the big resistance right there. It's just that 299 mark or whatever they had a little bit ago, a month ago. But I'll tell you what, though, when they're done, they're done.
Yeah, this is not going to
They're
be a
gonna,
long term
and that's
type of hold. Like, there's no way I would hold
and
this for a year.
that's shares available too. But you know, it's going to happen no matter what because they have just more shares involved in it. So it's going to be ugly. Somebody's going to be hurting, and then you know what's going to happen after that is they're going to have another offering. They're going to raise more money,
Yep, they'll do.
creating bag holders.
They'll do an offering and then probably a stock split too. Maybe they like to do that.
Well, they got to
They
get
like
under.
to.
Yeah. Already compliant.
What's that?
They're already compliant. They're not going to. I've been seeing that too on the web of everybody talking about that's going to be a reverse split, but they're already in compliance and they already have X amount, like what, 3 or 4 different investors put $50 million in all the stock prices that I can remember were over $1 for offerings. Maybe the first one might have been 80 cents or something, but the last one was $1.59. So they're not going to be, paying $1.59 if they know it's going to be a reverse split.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got to be ready for whatever on AYTU because at any time this can change on us. This stock has kept me up because I've been up like every morning for pre-market just in case something changes.
That's why you can't trade Kenneth, dude. Kenneth is not on you, dude. You do not have patience for that.
No, I definitely couldn't. I just don't like swinging long. It just for long periods of times. Like a week is about as long as I want to swing a stock.
I don't mind swinging a stock, but the problem with swinging a stock for me is I have to do more due diligence with it. I gotta look things up a little. I probably said this last week. I gotta look at things and I gotta read everything.
Yep.
And I follow everything a lot more closer.
Yep.
And I don't know. Sometimes I'm too lazy and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I just want to play something intraday and get in. If I do okay, I do okay. If I don't,
well, that's the great thing about day trading. Like your money is not in the market, so even like during everybody's panicking when the coronavirus started to start selling off their portfolios. Most of us day traders are sitting here like, okay, like yeah, the market's more the market's more volatile now, so we're gonna make more money, is what you're telling me. Great,
Yeah, like thank you. You're gonna treat the whole market like it's a low float.
Yeah, basically, that's exactly how it's been acting. The whole entire stock market's been a low float penny stock. That's a good analogy.
It's funny that you bring that up because a couple weeks ago, my girlfriend and I we went out to lunch before the whole shutdown was in effect in Michigan with some friends. We went to brunch or whatever, and this one guy, one of a mutual friend's friend, he's like in his late 20s, 27. He's like, man, I looked at my 401k today and I'm down like 10, 15%. I'm like, dude, you're 27, bro.
Yeah.
You're fine. I'm like, this is buying opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he'll be fine.
Give him a max out you can put in it. You're fine. I mean, all that, the 401ks are all have a retirement date. So whatever date he's going to retire in 2064 or whatever, he's going to be straight.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's like 60. What's the age? 67 or something?
65 or something, or you can take out a little bit before, penalties or something. But I don't know. It's like, that's so far away. It's like, you shouldn't even be looking at your 401k like that. You should be unless you're trading it. But.
Yeah. We got a
if you're just
pretty good question here. Josh Totem wants to hear both of us answer this. If we could only trade one day trading pattern, what would be your pattern? That might be a little harder for you because you don't really do as much patterns, I think. You're more of a kind of support and resistance type of trader.
I don't know. I play around with a few things, but it, it's tough because every day I feel different. Like sometimes I want to trade something just to spice it up a little bit. But the most consistent thing I've out of that I found out for me is just pullbacks.
Yeah.
But the thing with the pullback is that you don't get a lot out of it. There's not like it's going to be a
Yeah.
runner. If it's pullback, that's a stock that's been up 300% and most of the play is above VWAP. Okay, then when it falls off, yeah, you might be able to come back and get a nice little pull. But if it's like just a real tough market and there's nothing really going on, you know, it's a consistent play for like a good 20 cents. And that's about it.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I'm guaranteed I can get that. You're not going to get rich off of it, unless you got a nice size account and you're buying, big shares. Um, but that's about it. If it's a runner's market and you're above VWAP the whole time and you're running a couple of dollars and you get a nice pullback to the VWAP or, a good, hour later in the day, the midday lunch break is usually where you can find them. You'll have the stack with the low float, the catalyst, and it's got volume and you can pick it up for cheap and be like, hey, you know what? This is the first green candle on the 30-minute chart in the last 2 hours. I'm gonna pick it up. It's a low risk, low reward. I'll play it up to the next moving average and bail out and then leave a little bit and see if it'll run a little bit farther.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Daniel B said his favorite pattern is the flip flop pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, the flip flop.
Sometimes I'll play the flip flop. It depends. If I'm spicy, I'll play it.
See, I'm not familiar. What's the flip flop pattern? Is that what you were talking about? I'm not familiar with that pattern.
I have no idea. I've never even heard of the flip flop pattern.
I was just making sure. You said it so serious. I was like, maybe that's something I haven't heard of before. I don't know. There's a lot of patterns, but I knew Daniel B was being sarcastic. I just wasn't sure if you were. But
yeah,
you guys see.
Yeah, flip flop's not my thing.
What's that? Go ahead.
I mean, the flip flop's definitely not my thing. I mean, I played momentum. I think everybody kind of starts trading because of momentum, but momentum is so sketchy, and you have to be so quick.
Yeah.
I'm just too retarded for that. It's too fast for me. It's like, oh, I bought it. Oh, and I look down and I want to see what my average is, and then I want to calculate in my head real quick. Okay, do I want to add more here, and this is going to be my profit target here, or okay, it's running. Nope. Okay. Oh, I didn't sell. Okay, now I'm in the red. Everything moves so quick.
Yeah.
I'm just not fast enough for it.
Yeah.
But the flip flop pattern.
The flip flop, the sandal. Now, for me, I know you guys see me in the live streams. I do a lot of U shapes and triangles. Those don't always work out, so that wouldn't be one of my favorite patterns. Mine would be the dead cat bounce, and MFA was one that did that. It had this big red candle, and basically it's such an easy pattern if you can spot them before they have the bounce back up, because you're just looking for a stock that has a little bit lower of a float, because you don't really want to trade one that has $1 billion in float. It's not going to get that big of a bounce. So you want one under 100 million, I would say, in float. But they'll come out with some type of press release, and it'll freak the shareholders out, and they start dumping the stock. And that's what happened on MFA, basically, is they were like, hey, we're not going to pay the dividend right now in this recession. And everybody just sold off so hard in that one day. So that one day went from $3 down to 30 cents. Okay, that's not the end of the world, them suspending the dividend. That doesn't mean the company's going out of business, so, or at least they're not going out of the business the next day. So if I can find them, and you can set your scanners up, or you can just look on FinViz sometimes. Sometimes I'll just look at the basic ones on FinViz at the end of the day and be like, okay, that one lost 80%. Why did it lose 80%? And then I go look the press releases. Okay, it wasn't that big a deal. to drop that hard. So they're just so oversold that next day you can pretty much catch them if you see a little bit of volume starting to come into them. You know, not like EKSO volume, but like a decent amount of volume. Then you can catch these dead cat bounces, and it's great because all the shorters are out of it. It's so oversold. Shorters are not going to short an oversold stock, you know, especially that quick. So you basically just have clear skies ahead of you, because usually when they have those type of crashes, they're below the indicators. So you just have clear skies up to like however much. Like one of my biggest trades, or my biggest profits on a small trade, was a dead cat bounce, and it was fantastic. I think I made like 1,100 or something on just a couple hundred shares. So they just
Now, is that something through Thinkorswim that you could like set into a scan? We have the scanner here now. Is there a way you could? How would you even find that? Like just biggest declines and then a time
yeah, you
frame?
have to do it at the end of the day. So you would just go to percent change or net change.
Oh, the gap thing.
Yeah, just percent change or net change, and then just put, you know, a max, or just don't put a max on the negative percent change, and then you could do that scan at the end of the day and see the ones that have dropped off the most, and then go check them. I don't know why I don't do this more often. I would probably do pretty good doing that, because pretty much every dead cat bounce I think that I've traded, except maybe one, has worked out in my favor. Now, I've not really done any since I've been live streaming and had the YouTube channel, but I might have to start back, especially right now. I don't know. It's kind of hard right now because the markets are so volatile. You don't know if a stock's going to bounce or not until, you know, right then. But maybe. I mean, MFA did make a good dead cat bounce, but that would be the one pattern, because it's just not having shorters in there is the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it'd be, some really good trading opportunities. I'm just trying to think of my head if there's a way that I can like trying to catch it before the move actually happens. See, that's the thing that I always feel like a lot of it is that I'm kind of missing like that initial hit. So if I can go under my scanner and change a couple settings around where I can find out some of these ones that are kind of falling off the wayside and look at them, because usually I'm just looking at gap up. I'm not looking at anything about gap and down, but everything has to have that kind of turnaround. Nothing goes one way up and one way down,
Right.
I'll have to play around with it and check it out, because that probably would suit my style too, because I don't mind playing stuff that kind of falls off and I can look for a reversal. And then, especially like you said a little bit earlier, with how volatile the market is, the last, month, you probably be able to find some interesting stocks in there that you might not really want to hold for, a long period of time, but has definitely opportunity for a nice, percentage win of,
Yeah, I just looked.
but the MFA one was, it moved like from what change to, a couple bucks. I mean, that's a good return. It's like a 600%
Yeah,
return.
oh, for sure. I just did a scan with what I was saying to do. I was doing it while you were talking, so they could kind of see it. But actually, I probably need to take that volume off. But I found one that might be something interesting for tomorrow. It dropped 46% Friday. It dropped from $2 all the way down to $1.12 low. It's at $1.29 right now. Probably about 65 million in float.
What's the ticker?
ABUS.
ABUS. Another one with too many letters. Let's see. ABUS.
Well, okay, so what I try to do to catch the dead cat bounces, like I said, if I find them the night before, like I'm looking at ABUS right now.
It's a double bottom.
What's that?
It's a double bottom.
Yeah, it's a double bottom. So we have a double bottom I just found right off of this scan. So that's what I'm saying. It's a good possibility it might get a bounce tomorrow. So what I would do is probably wait out the first 10 minutes to see which way it's going to start going. And then if it looks like it's going to make a little U-shape back around, or maybe make a triangle back around or something like that, if it looks like it's going to start coming back up and the volume starts getting a little bit heavier with buyers, then I would look to enter it. And then I'll just have my stop loss, kind of tight. So That way, if it did start crashing on me, because for some reason it's crashing more, you could be out of it. But most likely, you could probably get a bounce on this. The thing I want to know, though, is why did it crash?
To be honest with you, I mean, I like the chart. I would actually buy it now.
You could. I mean, let's see.
Like, because with me, I scale into a position, so it's at 121. I look, I see a little triple bottom, right here, and then I see the little lows of 82 cents. That's a 40-cent change. So if I can like enter a position at 121, a starter position, and then if the first 10, 15 minutes go to $1, and then I'll have my full position there. And then I want to play between the 82 to $1 move, and hopefully, me personally, I think it's got room all the way to $1.81. That's a good 60 cents, and it's cheap.
Yeah.
That could be a good $600 win.
Do you know the only reason why I found that it dropped? Somebody cut the price target to $4 from $8. The news.
Those are the worst things. The price predictions. Those are the worst things ever. It should be illegal to even say, okay, it's this institution, this bank is cutting their price target for this company from $8 to $4, or even like when you hear companies like, okay, they're valued at $12 now, but the stock is moving at 75 cents. Those are the worst things ever. I hate those news, and you can tell that's where the sell-off was. Mm-hmm. They're no, it's not worth $8. Well, it's not even $4. Yeah, it was just there
because on the 26th, it had positive preliminary phase 1 A and B trials for a hepatitis drug.
And then they came out with a price cut after that?
And then the stock dropped. I think I'm gonna keep it on the watch list for tomorrow.
I think it's a buy.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it on. I'm putting it on my watch list for tomorrow. I'm glad I did that, because I think this might be a good one. We'll see tomorrow, but
I like it. I think it's great. I mean, how much? Look at the risk. 82 cents to $1.20. That's 40 cents in there. I mean, there's people that go out there and risk dollars for no reason.
True.
I'm like, scale in. You can get a nice price target. I could see it making a bounce up. I could see it going to 162. Yeah,
I think so too. I think you could easily get 25 to 40 cents on it.
Yeah, that's the kind of plays I like. I mean, because usually I'm looking for, like, if I get a quarter out of something, I'm like, yeah, I got a quarter. I'll tell my old lady, yeah, I got 27 cents out of this stack. Yeah. This one's a good 40 cents. I like that. I like it.
So
whoever brought it up, I like it.
Good job with that question, Josh, because you just basically made me think of this and get into this whole thing. So we might start doing that.
Especially
we might start doing a scan every night before, or at the night, or every day at the end of market close after hours and everything. And then I'll just post the ones I saw on there on the Facebook group, and Rob can post whatever ones he finds and see what we come up with. But this.
Well, see, I don't even look at a lot of these things too. But as far as a technical play, that's all I trade is technical. They could be a horrible company. I don't know, but I just look at the chart pattern. I'm like, I like it. Yeah. I play it. It's got a nice range in there.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think if you guys have any more questions, let's go ahead and get them in. We're going even. We had a little bit. Josh said he's taking 10% of the winnings. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're pushing an hour here. So
it's a shit show.
What's that?
It was a shit show.
Yeah, it was a shit show. So I apologize for that. But we're pushing an hour. So if you guys got any more questions, let's get them in here now, and we'll answer them real quick, and then we'll call it a night for the portfolio power up.
Ben's got to go to bed.
Yeah, I'm excited now, man. We got something to trade tomorrow besides AYTU.
You heard it. He's excited.
But no, this is actually a pretty good idea to be looking for this type of stocks the night before, because you can get these dead cat bounces a lot. And this is not even like one of the best ones. Usually I like it to be like 80% to 100%, but I mean, 50% still a pretty big drop, especially for no reason because somebody said it's worth $4 instead of 8.
The one thing I would be worried about with this stock is the liquidity of it. It doesn't get a lot of trading volume, so it might be something that it would be more of a swing.
I don't know. That's what I'm
I don't think
saying. I
you'd be
would
able
the
to get a lot during
I
a day.
think the first 15 minutes of the market of a market open, I think you would be able to tell if it's going to get enough volume to start moving. If you start seeing the volume build up, that's what I'd be looking for.
Yeah, it looks like it would be like at least a couple week play maybe.
You think so?
There was a couple weeks where it made, yeah, here's, if what, like 2 weeks right here, it didn't really do nothing. I think you would have to be patient with it. Yeah, it was volatile and it dropped. It had like the biggest sell-off day it's had with 8 million shares. But then you're like everything's like 200,000, 300,000. So it's going to be really hard to day trade it. It's going to be really difficult. There won't be really much of a move in there. But as far as the daily chart, if you want to swing it, I like it as a swing.
Here's the
Day
here's the
trade.
thing though. The last time it sold off on the 19th, it ran from $1.20 something up to $1.80 something.
Oh, don't get me
So
wrong. I wouldn't be shy about buying it tomorrow and holding it. Like I'd be content with it starting a position. But I mean, as far as reaping the rewards out of it, I think it's going to take a while. I don't think I'd be able to do it all in one day. I mean, I look at it as at least a couple
yeah,
weeks, which I'd be fine with.
I don't think
If you want to build a position, I like doing that.
yeah, I don't think it'd be one that I'd want to hold too long myself. But that's just my personal preference. But we'll
Yeah, you would have to be. That's where you would have to do the research, and you would have to actually look at all the news, the company, all the fundamental parts. And a lot of traders are too lazy to do that. There's times that I don't want to do it, and there's only a few stacks that I will do it to that I'm interested in buying. But like I'd probably read up on this more, look at it tomorrow.
So we got another
Do some more
one here.
research.
CRC. Somebody just asked about. He said the same thing. He said bounce maybe. Yeah,
CRC.
CRC.
Now we're getting see, and this is going to be tough for me because anybody that knows my trading with anything under $1, if it's not a coronavirus play, then I don't really like it. Um, and here's another stock we've seen a low of 93 cents. I don't like these under dollar moves. So this is where I would have to read the news and read all the big words and try to figure it out and Google it. And you go to chat rooms and snoop around and see if it's a bunch of bag holders or not. I don't know anything about their
It dropped.
their
It
shares
dropped.
available.
It dropped because they cut the price target from $11 to $2.
11
Yeah.
to 2. Why so much? Like what happened? Is this another bio firm? Everybody likes playing the bios.
I don't know.
Let me see
It's
this.
called California Resources, so I don't know if it's a.
Yeah. What do they sound? They got like cocaine? What are they doing? Is it a shell company?
I have no idea.
The thing I do like about it, though, to be honest with you, Ben, it hasn't been under $1. So I'm fine with that. Okay, it's a company going through hard times, but the longer I pull back the chart, I just see it's been in a downtrend
Yeah, it
forever.
has been.
So it looks like a company that's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it has been. It definitely has been in a downtrend.
It's not like there was a pop up, a pop down. There's like some sustainability or anything. So I don't know. It would have to be like a short term play.
Yeah, definitely a short term play for sure. I don't know. I'll just see in the morning. If it starts getting volume, could be a good day trade. I don't know because it could just drop off again.
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, I'm looking at this like 254 area, like it was holding and then it fell off. It kind of reminds me of an intraday chart a little bit, where like a stock that had potential, but then it keeps on rolling over. Then here's another stretch from mid-January to middle of February where it was consolidating, then it rolled over. So I would stay away from this
Yeah,
one. I don't see a bounce out of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
This one is
We got one last question. We'll take it and then we'll call it a night. Josh wants to know if we short, if we go short on stocks.
Ben doesn't. He's got a cash
Yeah,
account.
I don't have a margin account, so I don't short.
Yeah, I got a cash in a margin, but to be honest with you,
Shorting sketchy. Shorting is sketchier than going long because here's how I kind of look at it. With going long, the stock can drop to zero. So that's as far as you can lose with. You can't lose more than zero. Shorting, it can just keep going and going and going. So you can the highest number is infinite. There's no high number. So you can infinitely lose with shorting. And that's the way I look at it. You know, it's riskier than doing anything else in my opinion.
you have to pay more attention to it. You got to have your stop loss in, because for that instance you can get ate up. But then also you got to do margin. You got to do margin calls, and it depends how big your account is and how much you want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Because margin calls can be like a pain in the butt. Like, because if you get into like the trade at the wrong spot, even though it works out in your favor, but you over leverage the trade, then it's not worth it. You gotta definitely put some time into it. But yeah, you can make money off of it, and I have no qualms about it. It's also kind of like switching the mindset of thinking, looking at stock in the long point of view, and then kind of switching over and seeing the bearish side, which is, to be a complete trader, I think it's a good thing to be able to kind of look at things both ways, but it's also something that you got to learn. And like, I just started with it, and to be honest with you, I'm just watching. I want to see how everything plays out. Especially with how volatile the market is. It's like a great opportunity, but since it's something that I've never really done before, I'm going to just be patient and just kind of take it as a learning lesson.
Yeah, and then too, like, if you put in a stop loss order or something, or you're in the process of putting it in, and then your computer or your phone or whatever you're using happens to short circuit out or your power goes off or something, now you're in that stock and you don't have your stop loss in yet. If it decides to start ripping and you're not out of it, the broker can actually force you out of it at the top.
That's margin call, man. They want shares.
That's what I'm saying.
And the thing is, you got to understand when it's going to happen too.
Yeah, so it's just too risky.
It's a lot more good.
It's just too risky for me personally. But people do make money on it. It's just something I don't want. I mean, you can make money just fine going long, so I don't really see a reason to be shorting all the time, unless you just like going full on shorting and long both all day long on a margin account. I mean, if you want to get that crazy with it, but you can do anything that you want to do. But
well, I mean, I look at like how volatile everything is that it'd be a great time to short. I mean, especially now, because after last week with the bounce up, hitting these resistance points, I can see like a lot of them falling off the bridge a little bit. So you can make good money that way too, because you can just swing them for days and days. And you just kind of just keep on trading, changing your stop loss, moving it down.
So yeah.
But be careful.
Yeah, if you want to start learning it, just be careful. But yeah, I think that's it tonight, guys. One Life, you got any last words for them? Or maybe not last words, but parting words?
Wash your hands. Watch your butt. Be careful.
All right. Well, you heard it there, guys. Wash your hands, wash your butt, be careful. If you're not in the live streams in the morning for the day trading, come to the live streams, check that out. If you're not in the Facebook group, go join it, Framework Fortune Day Trading. And you can hit me up on IG Framework_Fortune. And then, any questions, hit me up somewhere there, or hit One Life up in the Facebook group, wherever. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Have a good night, everybody.